Welcome Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm Josh Coan.
I'm Carter Burquest.
Today we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings because the season never ends. The offseason is just as exciting as the regular season. The draft is coming up, and the Vikings have a very low first-round pick, but we do have a first-round pick this year. What are you looking for the Vikings? What picks do you think they're going to make? I know it's hard late in the first round to kind of see who's available, but are there any names you want to throw out? Any direction you think Rick Spielman should take the draft this year?
For sure. Yeah, it's a little bit tougher picking so late in the draft. You don't have as many names. Typically when you're high in the draft, you have 2 or 3 guys that you really think are going to be there. At pick 30, who knows who's going to be there? Who knows what's going to happen? But trust me, I'd much rather be picking in the 30s than in the single digits. Trust me, I am not complaining whatsoever. That being said, offensive and defensive line, I think, are our 2 biggest needs. I think cornerback as well. And then the rest, I think, are pick best player available. I do think in the first 2 rounds, for sure, you're going to get an offensive lineman, specifically guard. Tackle as well, I think, could be useful. But I think guard is probably where we go. There's some guys, Billy Price, Will Hernandez, maybe an Isaiah Wynn falls that far. Somebody like that, I think, is really what to look at. I would definitely watch for Spielman to trade back. We don't have his patented 10 picks that he likes, so I would not be surprised whatsoever to see him trade back into the early second round, compile some extra picks, especially if his guy isn't there, or there's multiple guys there that he would like. A lot of teams like to get in the end of the first round and get that 5th-year option, especially if a quarterback's falling, so look for Spielman to do that. I guess that's kind of my first round take. What do you think on the first round?
Yeah, again, like we talked about, it is hard kind of because you don't know who's going to be there at 30. But I do think it's got to be offensive line. If the guys you want are there, the names you threw out are the same names I'm hearing. It's hard because I don't watch a lot of offensive linemen in college, so it's not like I can pick these names that I think are so great. I just hope that they study the film, obviously, and they pick the guy that's right for them. But offensive line is the most important thing. I wouldn't be mad if 2 of the first 3 or 3 of the first 4 picks we make are offensive linemen. A team this good, really, we do have a good overall roster, so it is depth. So offensive line, I think, is the most important position that we need. And then it's depth, so it is kind of best player available, if that is on the defensive line or at cornerback or even running back. There's places where we could use the depth, but there's not, you don't know who's going to be there. So it's kind of going to be best available, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun draft because you really can sit back and, like you said, take best player available. I think I could convince myself, besides offensive line, I think that's the one, I wouldn't call it a blatant hole in the roster, but the biggest area of need, I would say, is the only place you could point to and say we for sure need this. I think defensive line as well. But I also could convince ourselves that we could use another linebacker. I do think we definitely need another corner in the secondary. I think maybe a 3rd wide receiver would be nice as well. Kendall Wright's only on a 1-year deal. Stephon Diggs maybe a free agent next year. Hopefully we can get him re-signed. You lost Jerick McKinnon in the offseason, so that scat back type, even though I know Dalvin Cook and Latavius are going to get quite a bit of work. Quarterback is one area that I don't think we would address this year, but every other position I wouldn't be surprised to see us address, with the offensive line being the number 1 priority.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's exactly what it is, and I think most people know it. I think the Vikings should know it. Offensive line, they've tried to address in the last offseason. They got a little bit better, but there's still a long ways to go on that line. And then depth across the board. I know you mentioned defensive line. Obviously, the starters are great, but depth we need for sure on that defensive line as well. So to win the Super Bowl, you need strength in the trenches. You need depth. And maybe even they could take a flyer on a home run guy because they have a complete roster. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody that falls to them maybe for character issues or off the field or something, maybe an injury or something where a guy's available late in the first round that probably shouldn't have been there. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rick Spielman take a flyer on somebody like that to kind of give us a little something else because you can afford to take that risk.
For sure. Yeah, I would completely agree with you there. I don't know that it's something we do in the first round, but there is a guy, Antonio Callaway from Florida, is a dynamic receiver, kind of like a Percy Harvin or Tyreek Hill, has had some major character issues, so could fall pretty late in the draft. Maybe somebody we take a look at. I don't know. I don't love having those guys in the locker room, but I feel like we have a strong culture here and could maybe fit in with somebody. That being said, what's your prediction on the first round? Does Rick trade back? Do we draft somebody? And if so, who? What are your thoughts?
It's always tricky with Rick because he does love the trade. Like you said, he likes to have a lot of picks. I wouldn't be surprised to see him trade out of the first round because, again, when you're that late, there could be somebody that's in the second round trying to get back up because their guy fell. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Rick goes back. If you're trying to find depth, then the more picks you can get, the better you can get. So if I were to make a prediction, I would say that Rick trades out of the first round, which isn't very exciting for us Vikings fans, but I think it could be a smart move.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's going to trade back as well. And I think offensive line is for sure the first pick in the draft, or at least at a minimum, one of the top two. You got to protect your most prized asset, the $84 million man, Kirk Cousins. Protect him up front, keep him healthy, keep him upright, and we're going places.
All right, want to know what you guys think? What should the Vikings do in this draft? Will Rick make some trades, trade back, trade up? Who are we going to take? Any names you want to throw out to us? Let us know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.